Hey everybody, welcome back to Kingdoms Reborn. All right, a little bit has changed between episodes. I kind of did some testing and see what worked the best. And what I figured out is that our coal production for the 4 people that were producing coal, they were making roughly 200 coal. So at this point in time, coal through the coal burner is just not productive. And for our 2 clay pits, the 2 of them combined were making roughly 60 per year. And that was through 6 people. So I took a look at trade to see what we could actually do with our trade and figured out that the wool being produced by our, at the time, 3 sheep ranch, were producing enough wool that we could trade the wool easily for the clay and the coal. So I went ahead and expanded out our sheep. Let me grab these immigrants. Let me grab that passion book. I expanded it out by adding 2 sheep up here and 2 sheep down here. And then I added in some trade companies to kind of go with it. Now I'm thinking that furniture is going to be in the same boat as what the actual coal is. And I'm noticing that pottery in this build is actually in the same boat. It is almost taking as much clay as it is to produce the pottery itself. Instead of going the route of building furniture right now, we might build it later as we expand through the tech, because usually like when we hit the enlightened age and then further on into the industrial age, buildings get quite a bit better as well as between building combo and the guilds, they get just exponentially better. But I'm thinking for right now, we go ahead and add an import of probably cannabis, not cabbage, cannabis, and we import it to 100. Let's cap it at 50, but let's go ahead and bring it up to 100. Let's go ahead and take that up to the top. We'll put it maybe right below clay. So it's high time that we start trading with our closest neighbor. So with this, we can go ahead and connect our trade route. It gives us the option for a caravan. So we'll go ahead and buy that. And we could start some diplomacy with them, but I think we're going to pass on that for now. And let's just get this caravan kind of set up. So we'll just throw it like right here. And I believe I've got everything for it, so it should build. And we do have some tech points built up. But before I do that, one of the things that I want to start working towards is this iron. I don't know that we're going to get there this episode, as that's quite a ways away. Getting across the river and getting a little bit of a town setup is definitely on the docket for this episode. So let's go ahead and pick up this area over here for our next big expansion. Let's take a look and see if we can get a market in here, as we will want to market. We'll grab the sheep. Apparently they're a lot better in this build, and from what I'm seeing, hunters may actually be viable in this build, where in the last build hunters were just completely useless. Should have grabbed the tavern, and we're okay on people, so I'm not going to grab that immigrant. Let's grab that irrigation pump. We'll probably place both of them promptly down just to kind of get it started over here. So we'll probably place one there. We'll wait for that to repopulate. Now I'm noticing that the speed itself of the game, there it goes. I was on speed 4 and it was actually going really slow. It seems like just a little bit of wonkiness in this build, but we'll get that there and that there. That will allow me to actually get started over here. And we do have some people leaving homeless. Till we get a little bit more expanded on this side over here, I'm okay with people leaving homeless. So we'll go ahead and grab all of the stone over here. And I probably should have just selected stone to get started, but yeah, we'll grab all of that. And this is going to be a little bit further. We're probably going to have to place like a hub right close to the river, and then we're probably going to have to build around it with the actual aqueduct reservoir system there. And our first caravan's about to finish. Now we do have the master potter, and pottery is starting to maintain, but it hasn't actually started piling up yet, and that would give us an extra 20 points of efficiency. Not what you would quite think. It doesn't give us an extra 20% on top of what we're already getting, but it would move this from 200 to 220. A little bit goofy in the way that it words it, but that's actually how the system works in Kingdoms Reborn. All right, so we definitely are going to want tequila sooner than later, so let's go ahead and activate that. Baking for pita would get us an extra food source, which would get us another few points in our food happiness there. So we'll go ahead and pick up the baking there, and then we're going to pick up ironworks and tailor. And it looks like we still have some more science, so let's go ahead and pick up the blacksmith, and we'll pick up the quick build just so that we can quick build if we need to, and the gold smelter. And then I'll probably do the same thing between this episode and the next. Let's go ahead and pick up the windmill. I think that will be good for the future, and the PETA. I'm not going to pick up the iron smelter for right now, and the tailor. All right, let's take a swing through these cards and see if we can get a tequila factory. Another fruit gather could be good. Another trade company could be good. I will pick up them both. And while I'm thinking about it, let's throw the fruit gather and the trade company up there with the other, and let's finish going through these cards. There's my tequila. I don't know why it didn't give me the option for the tequila. Nothing in there that I want quite yet, and nothing that I want in there yet except for that tequila. Yeah, we'll take the tequila. I think that we're gonna actually use that pretty quick, and let's pick up that granary. We've got our irrigation pumps down, and it looks like up there our caravan is ready. Let's go ahead and set it to our neighboring town, and we get a total profit of 1,260 per round. And the nice thing about that, let's see if we can find 2 productivity books. If we throw 2 productivity books in there, we get a big boost to what we get. This in itself is actually extremely powerful. With only one person working there and getting quite a bit of money, you can actually, especially as your happiness goes very high, you can get a considerable amount of money through trade that way. We're gonna need some farms over here. So we're gonna need some farms for some wheat because we're gonna get that windmill down. We're just trying for right around that 60 mark. So 62 is close enough. We'll actually go with 59. We do not have room for anybody else in our town, so we're gonna pass on them for the moment. Usually I'm pretty adamant about I want to take everybody we can take until I get a couple extra houses over here. I don't want to get people just to have them leave homeless, which apparently I'm still getting. Let's go for 4 houses over here. Probably don't need them that spread out. As an afterthought, we probably just need them the row in between where we're going to place the actual shrubs. And in between episodes, I did go ahead and fill those in, and just to keep our housing happiness, it pushed our housing to 114. And what we'll do is in the future, I'll probably replace the shrubs with something like cypress or something. Let's go ahead and get a road this way so we can kind of get a good balance there. And let's go ahead and start taking a look at where we're going to place our irrigation system here, just to kind of keep everything moving correctly. With that, we'll actually place the windmill, place the PETA factory, place it like right centralized there. We'll place the granary itself so that it covers the farm, the windmill, and the bakery. And with that, we can start placing our irrigation. So let's connect these two, and then we'll start our route upward a little bit. Don't think that we're going to have to, hopefully we won't need to connect this way too much. We can probably do something like this to kind of get that area fertile, and then we can come this way to bring our fertile area kind of up and around our town. And what we'll do is, I'm thinking that this is going to be more fruit, so we're going to want to set up some foresters over here. My mind went blank for a second there. We'll do something like this, and that was actually one out further than what I wanted. I know that, so for anybody who's curious, it's a total of 13 spaces in between, roughly the same width. Well, it's 12 spaces, so it's every 13 is where you want one. It's the same width of what you would do with a branch. So we'll do something like that just to fill in as much as we can. I do want some foresters at this point in time, and I don't think we need the PETA. I don't think we need the sheep, and we're going to hold on the fruit for the moment. Let's go ahead and pass on that. Let's pass on everything in here, as I think that's looking good. We will take that tavern. Absolutely take the tavern. There's probably a market in there that I probably missed, and there's the actual market. Let's throw that down. Let's see if we have a forester in here. That might actually take a little bit longer to get built than what I was hoping. Let's throw the sheep up there as well, and let's throw that master potter up there. And then I'm going to keep the tequila down here for kind of a reminder that that's what I want to do. Let's throw the forester there and let's set him up to non-fruit trees only so he can start clearing out the area. Since we have the money, let's go ahead and quick build this since we don't have the bricks. And what is this? The windmill. This will build itself, so I'm not too worried about that, but I do want one more wheat farm in here. And since we're late autumn, let's go ahead and build it in here. 62 is close enough. Maybe put one more on this side over here. 63, that's close enough. I think these auto configure to wheat, which they do. We should have, yeah, a lot of people kind of in hold at the moment. So let's go ahead and buff this up to 4 builders. I try to actually build real slow in Deity. Right now, I will go ahead and buff that up. We have a lot of wood, and the difference between wood and coal is considerable. So let's go ahead and switch this over to wood fire. And this will produce roughly at 97 per, it will roughly do just shy of 800 per year. Let's upgrade the grinder just to get a little bit better efficiency there. And let's see if we can find a couple of probably passion books over productivity for this. And we'll just grab 2 out. Yeah, let's do 2 and see what that does to the actual PETA there. Probably pushes us into the 900 range, so not good enough. So we probably need 100 brick and the paper to actually get it. Not that we have level 5 houses yet, that will come in time. So I don't think PETA is going to be very effective for some time, which is kind of what I've ran into in the past, is that the trade for the PETA doesn't get effective until we actually hit the middle age. Let's go ahead and sell 200 wool. Let's do some bricks this run. We'll go ahead and just pick up the remainder of the bricks, as apparently I was holding down the shift instead of the control. Let's pick up the 180, and I think we're at an okay place here with our building that we can place down our tavern. Then we just need a library over here. Let's see if we can find one in the actual cards real quick, and it doesn't look like we're gonna be lucky on this run. So we are effectively level 4 houses, and we are only 4 houses from the Enlightenment age. So we're getting very, very, very close. I don't want to expand too much quicker because that was a pretty big expansion, and it actually caused us to drop on food a lot lower than what I like to be at. I like to have roughly enough food for 1 year, and I know that I'm selling some of it, but that was actually a considerable chunk there. Let's plan on roughly a maximum of 200 bags of flour for the moment. That seems like it will be a good number. We will be upgrading this as soon as we can, but for the moment, we're just going to have to let it go. And let's go ahead and speed boost those couple of farms to get them going faster. And let's take those immigrants. Let's hope for a passion book. Yes, and let's go ahead and throw that into the windmill. I don't see where my foresters are. Why are my foresters way over here? What are you guys doing? Oh, that is absolutely crazy. Let's, just in case it's like a bug with the actual reservoir system there, let's build a road across and connect it to the other road, just to make sure that we're not getting an issue where they're like, we can't cross the irrigation ditch, that they cross over all the time. Yeah, see, this guy is over here working. He's doing what we want. The other thing that could be happening, I've seen this before, is they might be unhappy that there's not a storage yard closer, but we can fix that. And we'll place, man, I made these all just ever so tighter than what I should have. Usually I try to leave room for a barn, so we'll go that size. Also noticing that our wool is starting to pile up. So let's go ahead and increase this to probably up to 500, and then we might have to do something with the actual amount of trade companies. But let's go ahead and get rid of the dates, because I think that we're okay on that front. We might have to, as I said, place some actual trade companies over here. Not that I wasn't expecting that, because to get all the way over to where we're looking for our steel there is going to be a hike, and we're probably going to be doing a lot of trade along the way. While we're talking about it, let's pick up those provinces. Let's pick up the one right here. Let's pass on the iron mine. Take another swing through the cards. I am still looking for that library. It's going to be one of those infinite things this episode. We'll go ahead and grab the irrigation pump. I think that's the next viable thing on the docket. And maybe over on this side right here, we start our farms for the tequila. Let's go ahead and put the irrigation ditches down, and we're going to try for roughly 6 away. And so I think that's a little too close. I guess if it's a little closer than what I initially thought, we can always make it work. We'll go 2,000 out and let's take a look. It leaves us with about 22 left. So with that, we can do the starting of our actual farms here, and we're probably looking for 2 of them to do the agave, and then I might put in 2 for the cactus fruit just to see how productive they are as a food source. I think it equates out to 2 to 3% for food happiness by having an extra variety, even if it's a small variety, something like putting 1 fisher in the long run it ends up adding quite a bit of happiness just having 1 fisher that even produces 900 per year. A little bit away from our housing goal, so let's go ahead and pick that up. Let's pick up that motivation book. You can't help but seeing smiles on the faces, yeah. See if we can pick up that library finally. Come on, library, come on. Oh man, the cards are just not with me today. That is not something that I thought I would have to actively seek for or stock up on. There we go. Let's grab 3 of the fruit right now, and let's go ahead and place them down. We'll go ahead and place them right across this road as it looks like it's gonna work there. Oh man, it's gonna be like just shy. Yeah, it's gonna be just shy. Let's place it there. We'll alter this road a little bit. I think that we'll place a little bit of a storage there and maybe place some trees in the future. Let's just get a yard there and we'll just go pretty much that size. Maybe we'll do a walkway this way. If I was a forester and I said, hey, prioritize planting fruit trees, I would just flat out plant fruit trees. I wouldn't plant miscellaneous things unless the game randomly spawns things. As soon as this one gets built, let's go ahead and do the pest trap and the delicate harvesting. There is a possibility that I will be adding hunters back in with seeing how many wild animals are actually walking around. Hiding the trees and we go to highlighting animals, you can see animals are walking around in areas that are well forested even throughout our town. And I guess we could try out that theory since there was one right there, and we'll pass on everything in there. You know, let's get another forester. See if we can get that area building up a little quicker. Let's pass on all of those. Let's go ahead and pick up. Yeah, we'll pick up another granary. We will always need granaries, so let's do that. Let's pick up that trade company, and since that library was such a pain, let's go ahead and get that. We'll throw the trade company, the granary up above. For the forester, well, let's start with the hunter. Let's go ahead and place it over here so it can actually buff these. Let's get rid of this forester, place the hunter kind of where it was, trying to make sure it spans across those 3. We'll go ahead and place a forester up here to kind of help this one do its building, and we'll go maybe this way. Let's cut non-fruit trees. I don't want to take the immigrants until we get a little bit more housing, and 1 person illegally snuck in anyways. The shame of some people. We have people leaving homeless, but yet we have people sneaking in. Crazy people. They're like, your place is the absolute party town, so let's go ahead and move in anyways. Maybe it's time to get that next couple houses. And I'm thinking we don't have enough people over here, as laborers must be a problem, because I'm constantly seeing that the PETA is saying that it's full of inventory, and that's usually an indication that you don't have enough laborers, but we have 31, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I do like that there's little flowers and things around the town hall. I think that actually looks pretty good and pretty creative. I do plan on an episode being tonight. I'm actually recording this early in the day on Saturday. So I do plan on there being an episode tonight into tomorrow. Typically, I post around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This one's going to be posted a little bit late, but I do plan on kind of continuing later today. I've been a little under the weather the last couple days as the season change has just been kicking my butt. But I think that this is a good spot to call this episode. I think we've made some good progress in moving across to where we want to be. I'm probably going to let this area build up just a touch between episodes. And then when we come back, we should be ready to enter the Enlightened Age. And that's where the game really starts to kick off. Thank you guys, and we will see you in the next episode.